6 rounds done, 6 left. The time is ticking, and so is the timer for qualifying here tonight. Welcome along to the Tier 4 Championship, and we have arrived at the one, the only, Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps for round 7. Spa-Francorchamps, then, you've got 19 corners that make up the longest track in Formula 1, and 2 DRS zones, 1 down the pit straight, and 1 going all the way to Lake Calm in turn 5. And, well, this track has been proven to be fun yet tricky. We'll have to see how everyone will manage it today, especially from what I'm hearing, if I'm correct on this, is a wet Grand Prix. So throw another thing into the mix. We are going to have a wet race here tonight, and it's going to be very, very exciting. Your host here is Minico, of course, and alongside me is Deemer. Now, it's the halfway point of the championship. We have Titan that's currently leading. He's not here, though, but we still got a bunch of people, and everyone's still in championship contention. How do you expect the second half of the season to go?
I mean, as always, I hope there's action, which Tier 4 always provides in one way or another. But, I mean, you know, like you said, Titan unable to join us this week. I believe, if I remember, he has graduation stuff going on, so congratulations to him. But nonetheless, we're here at Spa, like you said, and I'm interested to see on what these 13 drivers can do for this race.
Yeah, 13 being the lowest that Tier 4 has ever had, which is very, very surprising. They usually have 15 or higher, so, what's going on here? But, yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting qualifying and race nonetheless. If you remember back to last season, almost half the grid crashed in qualifying. That was, very, very hectic.
Why'd you have to make me remember this, bro?
And, I mean, hey, come on, man. And not only that, but but in the race, about half the drivers actually finished the race as well. So, you know, it's Spa. Anything can happen, and oh boy, does it ever. Last season, we had a Alfa Romeo 1-2. The only 1-2 out of any team last season. Well, we'll see if Slow, Steady, and Quick Tone can possibly replicate that. That could be a tough ask. That's a yellow flag already. That is a Frizy.
Yeah.
He's managed to keep it going, though, luckily for him. But let's go over to the Driver Championship. As of right now, it is Titan that is currently leading the championship with 89 points, only 11 ahead of James B. So if James B wants to take back the championship lead, he has to finish at least 4th or higher. And considering his pace, that's not that difficult to ask, but we'll just have to find out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the unknown out of qualifying.
I watched it happen going up the hill. He went to turn into the right, got on the grass, and the rear of the car just said no. So,
Eau Rouge clearly proven tricky,
that's
and
really
once
tough to
again,
see.
it definitely is. Yeah, Eau Rouge has been proven to be tricky, not only in real life, but in the game, so it's no surprise that that has happened. Going back over to the championship standings before I was interrupted, to no fault of yours, luckily.
That's a change.
It is Mixer in P3, only 6 points behind James B, who we're on board with at the moment. And the Aston Martin, looking strong than the past 2 races, has gotten put in 3rd and 2nd in the past 2 races in Canada and Britain. We'll see if he could possibly jump up to the top step once again. Then you got one underdog, the other Aston Martin, in 4th, and then it's Wrath rounding out the top 5. Then you got Caesar in 6th, Ball Guy 7th, Urban Growth in P8, Hungry Caveman 9th, and DeCoach rounding out the top 10. However, as always is the case, proving Urban Growth, who jumped up 6 spots from last week, though that could definitely be jumbled up.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a matter of getting your head in the right environment when you're doing these races. There's a lot of lag on my end from Mixer's end. I don't know if that's going to be an issue during the race, but that's a 43.7 for his first lap.
amazingly, the only time set. We're already 6 minutes in. There's only been one time set as of right now. It's not often something you see. Quick tongue about the cross the line, though, so he becomes the second driver with a 152.1. And I believe that was the Aston Martin of Books who has just crossed the line to start his flying lap. So instead, we're going to take it over to Wavy in the AlphaTauri, in which hasn't entirely had the best of seasons. I mean, he has 12 points to his name, but consider the fact that his teammate is the race winner, he's going to want to do something, and going wide is probably not the way to go.
Yeah, definitely. It's always gutting to see your teammate. And this is one thing I can recall too from last season. With my teammate Phantom, being up there in the front, and then I had a abysmal season to start off with as Bald Guy goes provisional P2. Wrathful coming to the line next, but yeah, just seeing your teammate winning races and then you're always in the midfield. Or crashing out, which I was doing at the beginning of the season. It's always getting to see, and then you just get that confidence in the race and in the car once you get the season halfway over with. So interesting to see what he can do as he's P3 at the moment.
Always beating your teammate. That is what you want to reach, especially when it comes to equal tier. Because if you're ahead of your teammate, that's how you know you're doing your absolute best. And, well, as of right now, there haven't been any major, 1-2 drivers, which is good to see, but, yeah, just in relation to what you're seeing compared to, what you're doing compared to your teammate, it must not be a great feeling. Unless you're beating them, then, it must be a good feeling, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to beat your teammate, but it's always nice to know that, if you really know your teammate, for example, Bald Guy and Sprightly. If you're in a party with your teammate, one of them isn't having a good race, and the other one's just like, come on, man, keep your head down, just keep pushing. It's that boost of confidence from your own teammate to really get you going and push you through the rest of the race. But it really gets me good, in high spirits. So.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want. James B going a little bit wide there at the exit of no-name corner and validated his lap. He had a purple sector 1, and as of right now, he is one of, if my math is right, 6 drivers yet to set a lap time. But we'll have to see if he's able to in the dying stages. Speaking of which, Bald Guy just set another lap. He's done 2 laps on the sauce, but he's gone to a 44.3, and that puts him on the front row for the time being. I believe the next person to cross the line... Is that going to be an... I'm trying to figure out, is it an Alfa Romeo?
No, it's a Ferrari,
looking at ERS... Nope, it's not going to be Quick Tongue. I believe Urban Growth, is he on a lap? No, he backs out.
Starting his second lap, excuse me.
So he's doing double laps on the softs, which is interesting. So we'll have to see how that pans out for the McLaren driver.
He's going up Radion and Eau Rouge at the moment. He's got Mixer just ahead of him. I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue for him, though. Keeps it nice and tidy going up the hill. He's going to hit DRS going down the Camel straight. Let's see what Sector 1 says. That's a 30.3. I think that might be the fastest first sector we have so far. Ooh, I think he just barely has.
Yeah, so James B clearly showing the pace, and ooh, he's not giving much on this lap right now. And if I'm seeing this correctly, I think the track is starting to get a little bit overcast right now, which might affect the conditions. Make sure not to go wide at no name, which is exactly what we did the previous lap. And now through to Pouon, one of the fastest corners on this track. And he negotiates that quite safely, but quite nicely. And now going through turns 12 and turn 13. And making sure not to invalidate there, which he does so, gets on the curb. And now, this is honestly a tricky corner for me, but he negotiates it quite beautifully, in my opinion. That was very, very smooth of him, needless to say. And now it's just foot to the throttle. And you just have to wait around 20 seconds until you actually meet another braking zone, but making sure that you hit the apexes nice and easily, which he does, not going a little bit too much on the curb, then hard on the brakes, careful not to miss the apex, which he doesn't, through the tricky chicane, flat out to the floor. Where does he put that McLaren? He puts it on
SP1.
provisional
Wow.
pole with a 143.1. A very good lap time on
That's
double
almost
lap
a
sauce, and the
rating.
rain has come down. Oh boy.
That's a 6/10 gap to Mixer behind. Oh,
The one
Mixer.
thing's for sure is that Mixer is on a lap.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I think Mixer's lagging a little bit. I don't know if it's my end or not, but he's definitely got something going on with that Aston Martin.
I don't know, but he's still trying to give it everything. He's only just over 100th up on his lap time, and it wasn't a purple sector 1, sorry. So he's gonna have to find everything through sector 2 and 3. And right now, just trying to make sure he doesn't go Valley. Gets a little bit squirrely, though, through No Name, and that's definitely not going to help him. Now through to Puhan, and the conditions are clearly not getting better. Ball guy's retired, so he's saying that this is going to be qualifying done. Got to see if that is the case, if it takes a while for the track to dry out, but let's see. Mixer actually validates, goes wide. He was a 10th and a half down, though. Oh, and he hits the wall.
I was gonna say, that wasn't just me that saw that, right? Okay.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. He lost his end plate, left-hand side, and that is definitely going to call his qualifying done. And, well, this might be the end of qualifying, so it's just a matter of Frizy and Wrath setting a lap time, which Frizy is starting one by the looks of it. So, interesting there.
Yeah, Mixer's just bouncing his car off the walls right now, going into the pits.
Don't want to DNF there, dude. No, I'm just saying. Oh, and that's wavy! Spun off at turn 16, lost the rear, into the wall, and he's out. Already 3 drivers out of qualifying. Though, I believe one of them was just in the pits.
Yeah, Ball Guy retired in the pits. That's the only retirement that I know of.
Yeah, because Unknown spun up at Eau Rouge. So that is definitely what's happening there. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3 that I think that's just for James B going slowly. He might be out of fuel.
No, I think he's just preserving his tires.
Let's see.
He's going slow.
No, you're right. Yeah, he is. I mean, if you want good tire life, that's the way to do it, I guess. As the coach... Oh, who was that? I just saw a bit of a lag moment from Urban Growth there. It looked like he just went off where Raikkonen did in 2008. If you remember what happened at the 2008
There's puddles forming
Belgian
on
Grand
this
Prix.
circuit.
Yeah, there is. I'm definitely noticing that. But if you remember what happened at the 2008 Belgian Grand Prix, at the very end, the track conditions got so damp, and Raikkonen spun at the exit of turn 17 of Blanchimont and retired out of the race with only, I think, like 2 laps to go. So it definitely did not help him, and Urban Growth nearly replicated that. He didn't, but it was very close.
I'm just trying to see. Yeah, Quick Tongue's 4 seconds. Oh, whoa! Urban Growth, whoa! Buddy, what are you doing? Dead.
Oh, and that's at the wall. He's out. Oh, and he's just revving his car. Hello?
Cody's? Hello? Let's see what Wrath does. He's okay.
Wrath is currently on an outlet.
Okay,
so...
he's gonna send it.
We'll go on board with Wrath. Let's see what he does, because provisionally, if he gets his lap in, he's going to be P11. So we're going to go on board with him and see just how the track conditions are on the softs. I don't think DRS has been disabled yet.
Why?
Well, now it has.
Why
right
is
as I say it.
Coming out on inters? Oh, okay.
Oh, and that's Wrath around, and that's out. Yep.
I don't see the advantage of. Oh, yeah, I don't see the advantage of this.
Practice? I don't know.
Yeah, but we could have
Mixer, I guess,
race.
going on intros for some reason. Hopefully it's just an installation lap, but that is definitely qualifying done. So James B grabs what I believe his second pole position, no, his third pole position of the season. Mixer once again on that front row. And you got Ball Guy in P3, a very good qualifying from him. He managed to get the lap in, and he did it and he managed to get it nice and done. That's Urban Growth in P4 with Books rounding out the top 5. And then Slow and Steady and Quick Tongue, the two Alfa Romeos alongside each other, 6th and 7th respectively. Then it's Wavy in 8th, ahead is the Coach in 9th on the mediums. And Sprightly also on the mediums in 10th. Frizy, the Unknown, and Wrathful didn't set a lap time, but they'll be P11, P12, and P13 respectively. And, well, oh boy.
Whoa.
If this is what qualifying is. Oh, and he's out. Yep.
So, while we wait, did you have a chance to watch any of FP1 or 2 today?
Mainly just the highlights, because obviously I was at work. But,
Right.
yeah, I watched a bit of the highlights, and, what the heck, Aston Martin?
Yeah. No, I'm saying
that is literally a green bull. That is a green bull. Trademark that.
Yeah, but did you see the meme that Red Bull were doing back? They were drinking their green edition.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was just like, that's just shade, man. That is just shade. Yeah, no, that was the biggest talking point, really.
In FP2?
It's only practice. It's only practice.
I know,
it's
but
only
like,
practice.
it's not
only
something
practice.
you see like every day. You know what I mean?
You say that last season, and everyone would have said you're high. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's true. Wow. Okay.
I'm not wrong.
No,
That's all I
I
need to
just
say.
got an ESPN alert on my phone. Speeds at 243 miles an hour at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but windy weather disputes Indy qualifying.
Interesting. We'll have to see how the Indy 500 goes on this weekend, but we're focusing on the Belgian Grand Prix. It's James B on pole position for the 3rd time this season. That's Mixer on the front row. Ball Guy P3, Irma Growth P4. Books rounding out the top 5. Once again, both Aston Martins in the top 5, which has kind of been exactly the main reason as to why they're leading the constructors. We actually didn't go over that for a second, so if you have it up, do you care to take us through it?
Give me 1 second. You're lucky you said
something. Oh, it isn't a rain race. I was lied to.
No, it's raining at the end of the race, towards the end of the race.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So for the team championship, we have Aston Martin in first with 137 points, Alpine in second with 89 points. Just behind them in third, 11 points behind, is the McLaren team of Jainsby and Frizy. In fourth is AlphaTauri with 69 points. In fifth is Red Bull. Hey man, the opportunity presented itself. I made it. Anyways, 5th place.
Immature. And you're older than me. I don't understand that.
I don't care. In 5th place is Red Bull. 6th is Ferrari, only 7 points behind Red Bull, so let's hope they can do something tonight, or today. Alfa Romeo in 7th place with 26 points. Williams in 19th. Williams in 8th with 19 points. Tied with Mercedes with 19 points, and then the lonely Haas team with 13 points on the calendar, or the race.
I'm just saying, if you were to tell an F1 fan in that they don't know about the standings, they don't know about the F1 game, but what if you just went up to an F1 fan and said, yeah, Williams and Mercedes are fighting for 8th in the team's championship? How would you think they'd react?
Well, I mean, everyone would presume, depending on what era you're talking about, but if you're talking about this era for F1, and you walk
the modern era, like the turbo hybrid era.
For this season, let's just say this season as an example. You would think Mercedes would be up front after all their years of dominance from 2014, I believe it was, when we went to the turbo hybrid era.
2014.
Yeah, you would think that they would be up front with everyone else, and they're fighting with Williams. That kind of be a jaw-dropping moment. So, oops.
Yeah, it definitely would. Unless Williams just somehow managed to, I don't know, not be last, but they've just been inconsistent. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It would definitely throw someone off. That's for sure. Going over to the tires right now. So everyone in the top 10 has to start on the tire they qualified on, in which everyone from 1st down to 8th are on the soft compounded tire. DeCoach and Sprightly on the mediums. That could be a story to watch out for in the latter stages. Frizy outside the top 10. Free tire choice he's gone on with the mediums. And then the Unknown and Wrathful going on to the softs. And, well, we'll see if Wrath could possibly grab another top 5, which is pretty much what he's been known for most of the season, if I'm not mistaken. He's only... Oh, actually, no, I'm mistaken. He's finished outside the top 5 twice. That was the season opener in Bahrain and in Canada, where he finished P6. The rest, P5, and then that one podium in Imola. We'll see what he can do for 13th on the grid. But it's mainly the story between the front two, because they are only separated by 6 points. And if they want to grab the championship lead, they want to win this race.
What are your predictions for podium?
You know that's a mistake. Because I could be thrown way off.
I mean...
I feel like a safe bet, though, considering recent form. James B, 100% on the podium. He hasn't finished on the podium once. That was back in Imola. He finished 6th. Every single race he's been in, 3rd, and then 3 P2s in a row. What?
Why don't you just commentator curse him?
We all love a little spice, don't we? I'm just merely providing.
I'm really rooting for Bald Guy for podium tonight. I mean, man turned ABS off for this season, and he's been consistent fighting in midfield, so good to see him back up fighting for where he actually belongs, as we have 2 number 72s on the grid this evening.
Yeah, everyone lining up on the grid. James B lining up on pole, Mixer on the front row, and we wait for Wrath to line up in P13. 13 drivers, the lowest the Tier 4's had, but it's not going to change anything in terms of action. The 5 lights are on. It's lights out, and away we go. James B getting a pretty good start, but he doesn't exactly cover off Mixer. He's going to defend the inside, and it looks like Mixer trying to go around the outside, but James B able to cover it, and that's actually a bit of a squirrely moment for the Aston Martin, and he might be caught under pressure from Bald Guy. That's Urban Growth and Book. So far, the top 5 staying exactly where they are. We'll have to watch out, make sure that nobody spins up Eau Rouge. So far, the top 5 getting away cleanly. Does anybody spin? No! Everyone managed to get out through Eau Rouge cleanly, and now it's the run down the main straight. Who's gonna get positions out of this? Not the top 4. Oh, bit of a tap on Bald Guy's rear. Urban Growth hit the back of him. We'll see if that's damaged later on, but it's James B still leading the pack ahead of Mixer. That's Bald Guy, Urban Growth, and Books rounding up the top 5. That is a very clean start from everyone on the grid.
Yeah, definitely is. The coach and Sprightly battle back there for P10. Quick Tongue was a little bit wide on that left-hander. I don't know the name of it. Into Puan we go. Cycle through everybody. Make sure everyone's good. Yep, we're good. Wow, Wavy is all over the back of Quick Tongue. He's going to look for the outside. Quick Tongue's just
not quite able to. He's been squeezed out, and Quick Tongue holds position for now, and that is P7 for... What's happening?
Wavy got a little bit loose there coming out of the exit of that corner. Oh, he did it again! He did it again!
He spun round! Turn 16, and that is Wavy off. Doesn't hit the wall, though, so he's able to keep on going, but that is not the start that the AlphaTauri wanted in this race. But it's the start that James B and Mixer would have wanted. They stayed 1st and 2nd, and already pulling a gap from P3 of Bald Guy. As Bald Guy is actually getting a little bit squirrely there at the back, but James B leads the first lap from Mixer, only separated by 3/10.
Yeah, it's the 2 Alfa Romeos switch positions going into turn 1 on the first lap. Or second lap, excuse me.
Going over to the position changes real quick. So far, the biggest gainer has actually been the Unknown in P8. So he's had a great start in the... And Mercedes-Benz gone off, and he's hit the wall. Doesn't die, though, but he loses a bit of his end plate.
Urban Growth looking for a move on Bald Guy. He's going to get the move done before the end of the Camel Straight. Oh, he's going to go a little bit deep into the corner. That's going to allow Bald Guy to fight back a little bit. Can he? No.
Yeah, so Urban Growth now takes the position, and he is now up into the podium places is the Red Bull. And so far, though, the top 5 weren't exactly moving aside from that moment. Meanwhile, Wrath is making a move on Sprightly on the inside of... I wish I could remember that corner. I can't think of that. But, yeah, anyways, he's got the position done. He is up into P5 and... P9, sorry. So far, Wrath having a pretty good start in this race.
Yeah, for some reason I have Blanchimont stuck in my head. I don't think that's the name of the corner. So,
Blanchimont is where Janesby is coming up to. That's where that is.
Okay, for some reason that's been stuck in my head. I have no idea why. Yeah, we
I'm not sure.
We move on.
Yeah, we definitely move. And meanwhile, Books is closing up onto the back of Ball Guy through Blanchimont. There you go. That's where Blanchimont is. And Books not able to make a move. So far, this is one of the closest battles. There could possibly be a close battle between Sprightly to Coach and Wrath. Wrath trying to go around the outside at the final chicane, but nothing doing. Mixer sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix now with a 1:47.4. And he is trying to make a move on James B. So is Wrath, but it's just not enough. But he actually dives down the inside into turn 1. And that was this easy move, though. That could put him under threat from DRS, and that's also going to put James B under threat from Mixer. Mixer actually already getting alongside before the DRS, and this is just going to be an easy move for the Aston Martin, and he is clear and up into the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Managing to keep it clean, though. Yeah, but Book's looking a little bit feisty there in the Aston Martin, trying to move up a place, possibly try and get up to the top 3. We'll have to see how that pans out as the 3-way fight right now for the the 3rd podium spot.
Excuse me. Coming into no names, right? The exit of the right-hander, the double A pad. Oh, okay, Frizzy. Hi, how you doing?
Looks like he's made the move on Sprightly, and now Frizzy on the mediums is up into the top 10. So he's had a pretty decent start. Turn 1.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
I was literally watching it happen. But,
yeah, but
anyways,
I was literally zoned out watching James B and Mixer pretty much like pushed each other up the hill. So.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, Wrath getting a pretty good start in this race as he's already up 5 positions on lap 3. And so far, the top 2 are still staying exactly where they are. 4 tenths, just under 5 tenths between them. And James B has the DRS this time around on lap 4. And we know how powerful that DRS can be down the Camel Straight. So we'll have to see if James B got a really good exit. He did. And that should be an easy shot for the McLaren up Eau Rouge to go. Honestly, one of my favorite corners, but not at the same time concerning this game. But we move.
Oh, Bucks,
we
really
all know how it is.
Going up the hill, he hits the back of Bald Guy again.
As James B goes for the move on Mixer on the inside. I think Mixer is actually trying to fight it back, though. Not quite. And Mixer has now been relegated down to P2. James B back in the lead. Is Books able to make a move? Not quite. He backs out of it. And will have to stay P5 for now. And he's probably getting frustrated because he knows that Ball Guy's in the fringes of DRS right now.
Yeah, the thing is, I think Books just needs to bide his time and just let Bald Guy catch up and stay behind Urban Growth.
Yeah, that's really the most he can do. He's in the fringes. Look at that. 1 second. He's gonna need to stay in there until he's under threat from Books, and Books clearly wanting to get the move done. By the way,
Mixer's outside. Oh, hang on.
Yeah. Not sure what's going on with the Aston Martin, but what a save! What a save from Mixer there!
I thought it was my job to make sound effects, not yours.
Heart and mouth. Heart and mouth. That's all I need to say. But Mixer, great save there. May have lost a lot of time compared to James B, but he manages to save the car and will stay in P2 for the time being, as Books getting ever so much closer to the back of Ball Guy.
Yeah, James B sits another fastest lap. Yeah, Mixer lost a lot of time right there with that little spin, but like you said, a good save. The Ball Guy is
yes, he's
still
going to have to try and claw that time back.
That's
oh.
The unknown. Does he have wing damage? I don't know. Give me a good camera angle, okay?
I don't think he does.
I think he just spun on a curb.
Quite possibly. We'll have to see. I think Bulldog might actually have DRS on Urban Growth. Does he? Yes, he does. But, however, look how close Books is onto the back of the Ferrari. And even with DRS, he clears that Ferrari. The Ferrari blinking on ERS. But that is now Books up into P4 as the two Alfa Romeos are now going at it. And Quick Tongue is ahead.
Yeah, you can see from the onboard that Quick Tongue and Slow and Steady. Quick Tongue has pretty much no ERS, and his teammate, on the other hand, has the ERS to play with. So if I'm in the mind of Quick Tongue, I'd say, teammate, go by, let me pull with you, and then I can conserve ERS. As he goes way wide on the exit of Puan.
It's just basically like, carry me.
Yes.
Just please, I need it. So we don't get under pressure from Wrath, who is trying to close up onto the back of these guys. So instead he went a little bit wide though there, and he lost a lot of time compared to his teammate, and that could potentially put him under pressure from Wrath.
Growth has caught Mixer.
Oh, he has. What has gone on to the Aston Martin? He's lost a ton of time to James B. It was 1.6 last time I saw. Now it's down to 2.8. So somewhere around that lap, he's lost 1.2 seconds
James B's in.
to James B. He is in.
That's a very early stop. Yeah, what?
Very interesting. I doubt he has damage. Or does he?
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
It is an early box for mediums. Ooh, could this be an early undercut or overcut? Excuse me.
That seems rather early there from the McLaren, but we'll just have to see how that pans out.
I mean, they'd make it.
Urban Growth is now going to try and give pressure to Mixer ahead. Does he have DRS? He does just about, but Mixer clearly making quite a few mistakes in this race. That's not what he wants right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's just got to find a groove and stay in it. Who was the other Aston Martin? I forget. Isn't it one underdog?
One underdog?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is. Books is just reserving right now, which, to be fair, for Books, his last week, he actually managed to grab a podium being on the alternate strategy, so that's how we know that the Aston Martin definitely has pace. And, well, he's definitely shown it in just his first race, and he's now contending for provisionally P3 in this race on the back of Urban Growth, as Urban Growth is still sticking onto the back of Mixer, though. Mixer just, I don't know what's going on with the Aston Martin, but he's clearly looking very twitchy right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he just over-pressured his tires a little bit or used them too early in the stint. And he's just losing pace in the tire. He's actually pulling a gap now.
I think he might be using a bit of his ERS. Wavy gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits as the first time penalty of this race. And because of Mixer doing that, actually, by the way, Books is now has DRS on Urban, and Urban doesn't have DRS on Mixer, so that's very interesting. I think that's Ball Guy into the pits.
Slow and Steady in the pits as well.
So the pit stops clearly are emerging now. Now we'll have to see how that shapes out. But Books now has the DRS on Urban Growth. Look how close he is onto the back of that Red Bull. And actually, Urban Growth makes a mistake up Eau Rouge, and that's gonna have Books go wide. But he grabs the position. That might be an illegal overtake. Not so sure about that.
I didn't see it.
Let's look over to the tires now. So Ball Guy onto a set of mediums. Slow and Steady on soft.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, what's the pit stop delta around here? Isn't it like 18 seconds, roughly?
Yeah, somewhere around like 18 seconds.
So, James B's gap right now to Mixer is 15 seconds. Just let that sink in for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 3-second gap as of right now, so it hasn't really changed, to be honest, when he went into the pits, because it was around 2.9, so he's only gained around a tenth, though he is still gaining on this lap. And Mixer has pulled from Books, so Mixer being able to find his way again. And
but the coach is on the back of Wrath.
He is, yeah.
Whoa, Wrath gets a huge snap of oversteer.
He does, and that's definitely gonna help the coach. Remember, the coach is on the medium tire. He's the highest medium runner that hasn't pitted yet. He is on the back of that Red Bull. He's got quite a bit of a comfortable gap to Frizy behind. We'll have to see The coach not able to make a move as of right now, though. James B looking possibly looking for a move. Yeah, Mixer is in. James B could possibly be looking for a move on Sprightly. He's on the back of that Ferrari. Is he going to go down the inside? Yes, he does. Late braking for the McLaren. And he easily gets that move done. He's up into P8 and should be ahead of Mixer, Quick Tongue, and Wrath. Well. Yeah, he has, so clearly something has happened to the Red Bull. We'll have to see how that pans out. Now, James B comes out of the first corner, and what is the gap between him and Mixer? That's
like a 4-second gap.
Just over 3 seconds. So that hasn't really done much, to be honest. I think James B was just trying to get the pit stop out of the way, but he's gonna have worn mediums in the latter stages compared to Mixer, who pitted 2 laps later. It's going to be very interesting how that pans out, but Books now takes the lead from Urban Growth, then to Coach, and then Frizy. All of them have not pitted in this race. Neither has Sprightly. Sprightly down in P6 for the time being. But I'm just confused by what James B is doing, if I'm being honest. That was an early pit stop, but you never know. Maybe it's still a one-stop. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I believe, if I do my math correctly, there's 15 laps to go. Sprightly goes a little bit wide.
Oh, Mixer's just all over the back of the Ferrari now through the second sector. Now going over to the third sector. Purple sector 2 now for the Aston Martin. He's just all over the back of the Ferrari, and, well, he doesn't even need the brakes. He's just going to easily get past him in straight line. And Sprightly just simply lets him by. And Mixer is now up into P6, 2.6 behind James B. Yep, Books and Urban Growth are in. That should be a set of mediums for them. And indeed, it is. Not! Urban Growth is on the soft.
Well, that promotes the coach.
Am I just strategy dumb? Like, what's going on here? I'm genuinely confused.
Okay, I think I know. Okay.
Oh, Books!
What happened?
He spun off the exit and he's been disqualified! Oh, no! From a podium a week to go to being disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Spun off, and that is the Aston Martin's day done.
That's really unfortunate. I mean, man was looking like he had pace, and then it's just the one mistake that we all hate to make, you know? It hurts.
That pit lane is just so tricky sometimes on the exit. You always feel like you're losing the rear there, and clearly Books has done that, and he's now been disqualified. And, well, if I'm being honest, I would remove that disqualification if I'm being honest. He did not deserve that.
Right. But, I mean, the pit lane in ACC, just for something to talk about for a second, the pit lane in ACC, as Quick Tongue gets the time penalty, it's where you enter for F1, but where the exit is for the pit lane, you have to keep going down.
It's out of Eau Rouge. Yeah, it's out of Eau Rouge, yeah. I've seen that pit lane
in ACC that I know of. It's brutal. Oh, Mixer's gonna look for a move on the outside going into Balchamont. Wow, what? Oh, what?
That looked fairly easy for the Aston Martin, and as he is now moved up into P3, P2 provisionally, and he's now going to try and chase down James B for provisionally the lead as James B sets the fastest lap of the race. Mixer doesn't take it, though. I believe their fastest laps separated by just a 10th. So they're very close on pace at the moment.
I'm trying to see what the speed difference is between these two cars.
Enough. It was enough.
So James B max straight without ERS was 307. Okay. 308 for Mixer going down the straight without ERS.
Oh, the coach gets a 3-second time penalty, and that's gonna hurt him later on in this race. As Mixer's getting a little bit squirrely there. I'm just watching his steering, and that car just doesn't look like it wants to respond right now, but he's managing it beautifully, and he's catching up onto the back of James B right now as James B is closing up onto Coach for the lead of this race, which the coach hasn't pitted yet, but this is gonna help James B because as long as he stays behind, he's gonna have the DRS.
Urban Growth
Meanwhile,
and Sprightly
Urban Growth
go
gets
at it
past
going
Sprightly.
into Puon.
Looked like he got the move done at the exit at No Name, and that looked like an easy move for the Red Bull. He's now back up into the top 5 once again. So Urban Growth clearly having the pace, but obviously he's on the soft compounded tire. He has to pit again no matter what. Looking back over though, we got James B on the back of the Mercedes of the coach. He's got the slipstream. Can he possibly have a lunge? Quite possibly into the final chicane? No, he doesn't. Stays behind. He's thinking about that DRS.
Yeah, that's the thing you gotta think about when you're chasing this car, the car ahead of you.
Especially since the gap between James B and Mixer right now is 1.6. So Mixer clearly gaining right now as Sprightly has now gone into the pits. He started on those mediums. So that's a very interesting call there. Is James B pushing the coach up Eau Rouge? Oh, getting on the grass there! Does the McLaren. Has to back out of it, but it looks like he's going to get the move done.
Yeah, it was a good defensive move from the coach, though. He hugged the inside so that James B couldn't go through there, so... Really good defensive move from the coach, but it's also costed James B some time as Mixer is there.
Round about a second between the two as of right now, and Mixer clearly gaining onto the back of not only the McLaren, but also the Mercedes as well, in which the coach, he's just minding his own business, and these two are just going absolutely at it as of right now. But I'm not sure what happened to Sprightly there. I don't think it was a change of front wing. It was definitely a change front wing for the unknown, though, as he is way off the back.
Thought Mixer was going to look for a move there, but he's glitching.
I'm not seeing any glitching. Maybe it's just you.
Maybe
I don't know.
I want to clip this and send it in.
Oh, he's going to try and go for the move in the turn 16. And that's a 3-second time delay for James B. But that is a move done for Mixer. That was bold. But he manages to get it done. He's now up into second place. And has the use of James B's 3-second time penalty.
Right, but the thing is, Mixer just gave the coach a free burst of DRS.
If the coach is even going to be on the back of Mixer, at least close enough to make a move, as Mixer clearly looking like he has the pace over to coach. But now the gap between James B and Mixer, 1.7 seconds. Frizy into the pits on the medium compounded tire. That's, again, early pit stop. I expect them to go longer on these mediums, but clearly not. He's gone on to the set of softs. I'm just genuinely confused. But anyways, going back over to the battle for P2. Is the coach close enough to make the move? He's got the DRS. He's got the slipstream. I don't think he's close enough, so he's going to have to stay behind.
Mixer doesn't have ERS. He's blinking.
Yeah, I just saw that on the back of that Aston Martin, and yeah, he's clearly been using a lot of his ERS trying to catch up to the back of James B. It has worked, but he's not within that DRS. But he has around 1.3 second gap to stay within the 3 second. No, he goes wide. Never mind.
What is that line?
Grass line, as that has been said to me many times before, but that's now a 3-second time penalty for Mixer, so he has to get this done on track now.
I mean, I thought he was just trying to channel his inner Valtteri Bottas right there. That was full on 2 tires and diffuser on the grass right there. So.
Yeah, no, I've seen that line from a bunch of other people, and he's trying to make use of that. He didn't really gain time from that though, so
No, he
grass
lost
line,
time,
more like,
I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say something, but no swearing. I'm not gonna do that.
But no,
so
like,
I'm just gonna leave it as it is.
The tire strategies. I don't know if you remember the start of the race for last season for Tier 4.
I do. Very, very clearly.
Sprightly took the mediums 19 laps last season.
And he got a podium out of it.
He did. I think that was his first podium in BRL.
Was it his first podium?
I believe it was. Sure. I believe it was his first podium in BRL.
Well, what a way to do it. Needless to say, oh, Mixer! Spun up off Eau Rouge. And that's going to cost them a huge amount of time and 2 positions for good measure. As now Urban Growth is up into P3. Quick Tongue is now up into P4. And Mixer, that rear end, he's been struggling with it all race. And it's cost him. Glad I was still on board with him because I would have missed that if that was the case. Meanwhile, further back, slow and steady, getting the move done on Bald Guy. But let's not forget here, though. Urban Growth, Quick Tongue, slow and steady, they still all have to pit. So does the coach. So, Mixer is still technically P2. Bald Guy, he's P3. He's still P3 in this race. And, well, if we look over at intervals, anyone who pits in within that top 8 will be behind Wrath as it stands.
Yeah, I mean, anything can still happen in this race. So,
definitely.
It's a waiting game to see what's going to happen. You know, as Quick Tongue gets another time penalty. I believe that's 6 seconds for him. But yeah, it's just a waiting game to see if, you know, anything can happen. You know, the coach, obviously, on that alternate strategy, if a safety car would have come out, he would not be screwed by this, but it would kind of throw him in a good position because he can get a free pit stop out of this. And he could potentially...
not a free pit stop, more like a cheap pit stop, because he's still losing places.
Well,
but,
right,
you know, it's just not the added effect of 18.
Everyone, if a safety car were to come out now, everyone would most likely no. The medium runners and the hard runners, as Frizy sets fastest lap at the race, the medium runners and Wavy would potentially come in for softs. But as for slow and steady, Quick Tongue, and Urban Growth, they'd have to do a medium as Mixer's going to look for a move on the outside of the camel straight. He's going to get the move done before the exit of the corner. Wow.
Yeah, easy move for the Aston Martin there.
Yeah, but as for those 3 guys on the softs, they'd have to come in for mediums, and then potentially come back in if the safety car stays out another lap for a set of softs.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how that pans out later on as Wavy unable to make a move for P10 in this race on the hards. I think he pitted like very early onto those hards, and while it's not entirely helping, I'm getting a little bit squirrely there.
Guy. No! Oh, that's front wing damage.
Oh no! Wing gone for the Ferrari. That's not just damage. There's just no front wing on there, and Bald Guy having a moment of poo on, and that has cost him as he has to pit now and will be relegated down to P11.
Yeah, that hurts. You know,
I hate to see it.
It's obviously, you know, the same thing with books. But you haven't set a foot wrong, and then you make those smallest critical error in the race. And it costs you so much. So, I feel for how Bald Guy feels right now. I do.
Yeah, I definitely feel that as well. Though off topic of this, I'm really liking Bald Guy's helmet. I'm not gonna lie. The color combination, I'm really loving that. But but yeah, Bald Guy clearly not having a good time now.
Yeah, I made a pretty cool helmet for Ferrari that I've been running the last couple races.
I haven't noticed it. If I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I barely watched Tier 3. Why? I don't know.
What are you talking about? Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Though. Then again, I never do any lobbies with you either, so it's like, we move.
Yeah. The only time we talk is when we commentate races, that's it.
Pretty much. No, we still talk sometimes out of it, and that's not true. That's not entirely true.
But I'm just saying, like, when we mainly talk, it's literally just stewarding. Or not stewarding, commentating.
And stupid things.
Yep.
It kind of the norm for most people. You know, Urban Growth going a little bit wide there as he's on the back of the coach. Yeah, no, we talk about some weird stuff, but we move.
Yeah, exactly. Mixer with the 3
The Mixer. It's gone from bad to worse for the Aston Martin. He's still running P2 provisionally in this race as of right now. But I'm just more interested on pit stops right now as the coach hasn't pitted yet.
Look back on the coach's tires real quick. You can definitely see them graining. The rear tires, you can definitely see the graining stripe.
Yeah, you definitely can, even on the fronts as well. He
Mixer's,
doesn't hit
growth
those.
is in, sorry.
Oh, he is? Yep, you're right. So off those softs, he has to go on a set of mediums. The yellow flag at Sector 2. That's for the unknown, I believe. No, he's managed to keep it going as of right now. But Growth now into the pits. That is a set of medium compounded tires now for the Red Bull. He's going to come out probably P8. Yeah, P8. So, he can still have a chance at some decent points, but he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get anything better. As he nearly spins it. Oh, good save there from Urban Growth out of the exit of the pits.
I'm thinking the coach is trying to hold out as long as he can until the rain comes.
Quite possibly. Because there was a rain factor in the later stages of this race. As to how late, I don't entirely know.
If I remember, I think they said it was 45 minutes into the race.
I'll just have to find out. I'm pretty sure if a safety car were to come out later on, like earlier on, that would definitely help. As the sun is still shining a little bit.
It's definitely gotten more overcast, though.
Oh, it definitely has. Meanwhile, Mixer is on the back of the coach. He's going to try and go for a move round the outside. This is an optimal place. He makes a move, and he's made contact, and the Mercedes is round. Mixer and DeCoach battling it out for position, and DeCoach has lost out more than he wanted to. And he's just trying to rejoin the track safely, and he does so. But that strategy has now been thrown completely out the window.
It's overcast.
It has. It has? What? Okay. It is.
Is it raining? No, it's not raining.
No, not yet. His Urban Growth is now past DeCoach, and now that is Urban Growth into P7, DeCoach up to P8, and well, you really got to feel there for DeCoach. He's running a great race on the alternate strategy and just battling it out with another driver, and that has just absolutely ruined it.
I mean,
so you really got to feel for him there.
I think that's going to be a report. I mean,
quite possibly. He's into the pits now, so he's saying, yeah, there's no point me going on those mediums now. I'm not gaining anything out of it. He'll still get a point.
Yeah, he's going to come out in P10, so.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's just... I understand Mixer's frustrated. Well, I can't say that he's frustrated, but he's got to be more race etiquette.
Careful.
Yeah, that word.
Careful to put it simply. As Frizy now makes the move on Wrath, and now Frizy is up into the top 5. By the way, quick mention, I don't think they pitted yet. Like, they have yet to pit again onto a set of mediums, but Alfa Romeo running 3rd and 4th right now, having a pretty solid race, I would say.
People happy, Deemer? Just cheering on my old team from last season.
Yeah, we get it. You love your Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, but you know what? Hush, okay.
Okay.
Frizy's actually sitting provisional P2 right now. That's unknown.
Oh, and that's the unknown now. Oh, that's in the pits. Damn it! I got so
excited. You got all excited for nothing.
I know, man. But yeah, no, that's unknown done. He is retired in the pits, and that is his race over. That's the second DNF. No, not the second. The first DNF of this race, but the second driver out. Yeah, that's more like it. But yeah, no, you're right. Frizy, he started on mediums, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is provisionally P3. So Frizy, from outside the top 10, has made that medium strat work.
I think he started P11 if I check real quick. That's wrong. Yeah, he was P11.
Did, yes.
So biggest movers of the race are... Oh, that's Mixer again.
Oh, has he made... Well, he hasn't made a huge mistake, but he's made a mistake enough to have Quick Tongue now all over the back of him. But Quick Tongue, is he going to try and make a lunge into the next corner? No, he doesn't. He backs out of it. So he's clearly playing it safe, but Mixer just... Clearly that rear end is just not working with him right now. Yep, looked like an easy move. I think Wrath just simply let him by. He's like, yeah, I'm not fighting my teammate as Urban Growth now up into P6. Wrath into P7. And, well, Urban Growth, he has around 5 laps to catch Frizy for a podium. Oh, okay, that's a battle and a half, actually. The battle for P3 between Urban Growth and Frizy.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. You got 5-lap-old softs, I almost said mediums, wow, versus 1-lap-old mediums. Technically 3-lap-old mediums.
We'll just have to see how that pans out, as we'll see if Urban Growth could possibly catch up onto the back of that McLaren, and if he's able to pass. So it should be relatively easy to pass. He's gaining a lot, though. So he is flying, and I'm not sure what's happened to Wrath, but damn.
Oh, it's a yellow flag. That's wavy.
Oh yeah,
I believe he's stayed out of the wall.
Yeah, looks to be so. Spun it at turn 13 and 14 at campus. And, well, that has ruined his race ever so much more, as he's going to be... He's still going to stay P9, but I think he might be under pressure from the coach later on.
Yeah, he's just got those hards a little bit warm in the rear. Oh, you can see the graining already on the hards.
Can I just say real quick, though, this is the second time the past 2 weeks that we have had a pretty straightforward race, I want to say. Britain, we had no safety cars, and right now, this is... Well, I don't care. You're here now, and it's still the same case. It is, yep, I see it. So that is now going to be an interesting... This is... Oh my gosh. This is 2008 all over again.
Wow.
Rain in the latter stages of this race. How much is the rain going to affect this race? And, well, this could potentially all be jumbled up. Oh, wait a minute. The more I think about it, I think that's the reason why Quick Tongue so unsteady stayed out.
The way you said, oh, it felt like someone clicked the light bulb on with the string. It was just like...
Oh no! Urban Growth is left. Get him in here, please.
Oh no, he did leave.
Yeah, he gone. Get it back.
Got him.
As he's trying to chase after Frizy right now, and Frizy is actually on the back of Slow and Steady, by the way. So here we go. Now is a three-way battle for P4 in this race. Urban Growth, who's currently disconnected, he's still gaining though, thanks to a straight. Frizy on the back. Slow and Steady's into the pits. He's into the pits. So is he abandoning this soft to soft? Is he thinking that the dries are still the better tire? Is he thinking to go early on Inter? This looks way too early to be on Inter right now. We'll see. That is Inter. Huh? Seems super early right now. I believe Urban Growth has now just joined us once again, and he's got the DRS on Frizy. So actually, he's not opening it. Okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, no, Urban Growth still on the back of Frizy though. So this is the battle provisionally for P3.
I think it's too early
if they can get on the back of Quick Tongue. Just have to see what Slow and Steady really does, as he is now under pressure from Wavy behind, and Wavy just able to clear the Alfa Romeo, no problem. It is still enabled, yes, that is for sure, and it looks like, just by the way Slow and Steady's car is reacting, no, it is definitely, it's not worked. It simply has not worked. He's gone wide, and now the coach is overtaking him for P9 in this race, and well, that strategy has been thrown completely out the window. Meanwhile, just looking over this battle between Frizy and Urban Growth, though, it is definitely heated up. So those mediums clearly working a treat. Frizy struggling a little bit. They're now going wheel to wheel now through to Blanchamont side by side. Frizy on the left, Urban Growth on the right, and Urban Growth clears the McLaren. And we're seeing some very unconventional overtaking opportunities, but Urban Growth gets it done, and he is now up into P4, provisionally P3. Because Quick Tongue, he still has to pit for set of mediums, let's not forget.
I hope he knows this.
Yeah, you definitely don't want him disqualified, because he can still get points out of this. He can still get points. Obviously not what they wanted. As Price is actually into the pits!
That's for a set of Inters. Guys, what are you doing?
It just feels too... It just looks way too early right now. The unknown has left the session. It's not been the great of races for him, but yeah... Such is the pride of racing, I guess. We'll see if he can do better. What?
I think he's testing the track conditions for his teammate.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. As James B obviously leading this race, he's been leading quite comfortably. Mixer has been gaining though, but I'm pretty sure James B isn't worried too much. As he's got about a 3-second buffer thanks to Mixer having a 6-second in relation to James B having only 3 seconds. So yeah, that is definitely interesting there. Frizy doesn't look like the inters are exactly working now. He's losing quite a bit of time to Wrath the hit, or is he? What? Huh? I'm not sure what's going on, but Frizy trying to stay on the back of Wrath right now, and no, yeah, it's definitely still dries as of right now.
Interesting.
What?
Wrath's fuel light is on. The coach's fuel light is blinking.
Oh no. So maybe that's why the sudden pace from...
He's out of fuel.
Is he actually? It sounds like it. Yeah, it does. It sounds like he is out of fuel. Quick Tongue's now into the pits. So he's clearly fitting that tire allocation as Wavy's retired. That's actually... Not sure what's happened to the AlphaTauri. We'll have to look. But Wavy is now out. He's hit the wall. He's clearly hit the wall, and that is now the second DNF of this race. Quick Tongue, what does he go on? He's onto a set of mediums, so he still thinks that the dry is still the better tire. Frizy's staying out, but now Ermin Growth is now on the podium right now, but we're on the final lap of this race, and Mixer has gained on the back of James B quite significantly.
Yeah, but
it's just not going to be enough.
Yeah. Look over at penalties. James B with 3, Mixer with 6. So, wrong button.
Yeah, all James B needs to do is to keep it within the track limits, not have to worry about Mixer
Riley's
because he won't grab this. We can see a bit of trauma in the in the very end of this race. We'll have to see as the rain lights are on now on the back of Sprightly and everyone else right now. So that's how you know that the rain has definitely become more of a factor. As you can see puddles and yeah, you can just see it. Whoa. As well, we're now in the third sector, and well, it's been pretty much night and day, needless to say, for the McLaren. He's kept it clean. He's kept it consistent. He's managed to keep it out of the barriers, and he's now going to come over to the final chicane. He's had 4 podiums in this season. Doesn't have a win, but in the second half of the season, the championship charges on as James B wins the Belgian Grand Prix, his first win of the season. Mixer will come home to grab second place despite all of his issues, and Urban Growth will grab a first ever podium in Tier 4 this season. And well, if you liked what happened last week, he's loving what happened this week as Quick Tongue is retired. He is DNF'd. I'm not sure what's happened. I think he's looped it somewhere. But that has now given Sprightly a top 4 finish once again. So Sprightly finishes 4th. Frizy on the inters, he still manages to grab a top 5 finish. So great day from McLaren here in Belgium. The coach will finish in P6 provisionally, but it'll go to Wrath instead due to that 3-second. The coach will grab P7. Ball Guy will get P8, so instead he will grab P9. That was quite a bit of late drama in the latter stages, but that did not deter James B at all.
Yeah, definitely. James B didn't set a foot wrong that whole race.
No, he did not.
Also, congratulations to Urban Growth for getting his first ever podium, I believe. I'm quoting you on this, in BRL, so...
I believe so, yes. But it is now... But he gets his first podium. James B grabs his first win of the season, and with that, he grabs the championship lead with 5 races to go. Mixer, with that second place, he will jump up to P2 in the standings now. And Urban Growth, well, needless to say, he's going to be a very, very happy man.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I just focusing on typing words.
Yeah, it's fine. You go ahead and invite the drivers for the podium interviews.
I'm already
You're
ahead
doing that
of you,
already,
buddy.
so nice job. Nice job. Anyways, let's go over the race rundown. So James B, that takes the win. He takes his first win of the season, and definitely what he wanted, thanks to Titan being absent. Mixer will grab second place. Once again, another podium for the Aston Martin. Urban Growth grabs his first podium of the season. I believe his first in BRL. I'll have to fact check that. Sprightly, another top 4 for him. Frizy 5th. Wrath 6th. The Coach 7th. Bald Guy 8th. Slow and Steady 9th. Quick Tongue in 10th. Wavy, the Unknown, and Books unfortunately retired from this race in the latter stages. We're just waiting for all the drivers to join us in the booth. Obviously, the Mixer doesn't have a mic, so I'll just have to repeat what he says. Well, he's in the party, luckily, so he'll just chat that. Why am I... Okay, yeah, thanks, F1. It says I must be signed into Xbox Live. I am!
Don't you love it?
No, I don't, as a matter of fact. I believe we're just still waiting on Urban Growth to join us.
Oh, Urban Growth's headset is not working.
Oh. Damn, that's super unfortunate. But what isn't unfortunate for him is luckily he managed to grab his first podium of the season. That'll definitely jump him even higher up in the standings. He started in the top 5, and he's been pretty much there the entire race. And while managing to keep it consistent and clean, he grabs that podium thanks to some unfortunate moments from others, but also just keeping his nose clean, to put it simply. And we'll move over to P2, which is Mixer. He doesn't have a mic, so I think he might just be repeating what went on for him in this race. He's already typing, so I'll have to wait out for that. By the way, if you guys didn't see it, it was Wrath that managed to grab Driver of the Day, as he started from P13 and he managed to grab a top 6 finish. So congratulations to him. And Mixer has now replied, and he said he had a decent race. Jamesby was faster than him a bit. He spun and saved it twice out of Eau Rouge, which was amazing. I think we caught one of them, I believe. I'll have to look on that later. It was amazing, and it ended up costing him the race. He had a feeling he was going to be faster than him when the rain started based off of his pace after Imola and the dry to wet. One more lap, and the race was mine. Well, he also had to build a 3-second gap, but who knows? Maybe we'll have to see. But P2 was the best he could get, and so, of course, he said good job to James B, in which we are going to move on to James B. Now, it's been a while, needless to say. You got 4 podiums in this season, but just not close enough to grab that first win. Well, guess what? Half the season done. And it started now, your championship charge, and you grab it by taking the win here in Belgium. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, good to finally get a win, albeit missing a few drivers and whatnot. But I'll take them however I can, really, to be honest. It was all right. I pitted pretty early for the mediums because I didn't think the rain was going to take that long to come, but it was just taking for ages. And my softs were pretty cooked anyway, because I had to do 2 laps in qualifying because I invalidated my first run. So I jumped on the mediums and was praying for the rain to come. Getting towards the end of that race, I was backing off a whole lot because I just couldn't afford to ride the curbs hard or anything. Otherwise, I think I would have got a puncture. I think I was floating around 75 to 80% wear almost. So
yeah, that's definitely within puncture range, that for sure.
It was getting very close.
Luckily, yeah, by the sounds of it, it definitely was getting close.
It was catching me quickly, Tor, so I was...
Yeah, but needless to say, you managed to hold it off and managed to not get a puncture, and you managed to grab the win here in Belgium. Next week, though, we go over to Zandvoort, and if I remember a season ago, you managed to grab a podium. Do you think you can do one better? Do you think you can go for the win? Possibly try and go back-to-back?
That's probably one of my most favourite on the game, so I'll be looking to have a strong performance there, I think, yeah.
We'll just have to see in just a week's time. Redeemer, do you have any questions for James B? And I know you can hear him this time.
I can hear him.
Yeah,
no, I don't have any questions. James V, congratulations on your race win.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And also, the championship lead, let's not forget, as you jump Titan in the standings. We'll see if you can keep that momentum going forward. But that's going to be it for Tier 4 here tonight. Be sure to tune in just around, well, just over 45 minutes time for Tier 3 as we get to see their championship boil down here at Spa. Then tomorrow we've got Tier 2 and Tier 1 once again at Spa. And then next week we go over to the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, starting with Realistic on Thursday. And then we come back a week later. 5 races left and 5 chances to go for gold. Who's going to get it? We'll have to find out. But for Redeemer and I, that's everything. Good day, good night. See you in just over 45 minutes time for Tier 3.